So we are living in a different age where most people are the content creators online, and we have a lot of sports content creators as well. So these are the content creators that actually sometimes create statements that are going to generate them views instead of teaching people with some of the things they've learned from the game. And I think these days it's kind of hard for someone who actually comes in on the internet and trying to learn something. And I'm saying all of this because Coach Ouaddou had something to say about this when he said these statements and people are the people that talk like they know my dressing room or they've been inside my dressing room, but they don't know that. And he mentioned the fact that when he was actually angry after the 1-1 draw against AmaZulu, it was one of those things where he wants the players to actually react from the anger, to actually perform better and come with the better results. And for him to actually call out the senior players, it's something that he wanted to do so that everybody else can learn from them. Think about the fact that if you've been playing, or maybe you've been in a team or a group of something, there are people that are in the leadership in that group, and there are people that are closer to the leadership in terms of like they might be there longer, or it's because of the experience they've been in leadership in different places and before they come into that specific group. And those are the people that knows exactly what the leadership wants, and when the leadership doesn't get what they want, they know exactly how the leadership actually reacts. And think about the fact that this is not the first time Coach Ouaddou calling out players that they are not doing what they're supposed to do. Remember last season when we were playing against Polokwane City in Polokwane, and we won the game 2-1 last minute, and he mentioned the same thing. He said this is unacceptable for players that are playing for a big team. This situation not supposed to be like this. And he mentioned the fact that in that game they creating a lot of chances, and in those lots of chances they were not converting a lot. And he called out players as well, and guess what, the following game people were winning. And he said the same thing about this one. Is like, I wanted a reaction, especially from my senior players and people who are so important in the dressing room, and I got my reaction. It was a 3-0 win against Chippa. Then let's think about the facts that people were saying is actually losing the dressing room. I remember seeing a title like that saying Ouaddou is losing the dressing room. I was like, whoa, this is too much for someone who's actually just wants some reaction from his players. As me as a fan, I was just watching this game on TV against AmaZulu. I was really not happy. And I think right now at the moment, there are some few players that they not actually gotten into the mood of this season to actually kick in and be like, we are ready to go forward now and compete this season. There are a couple of players that need to pull up their socks. There are a couple of players that need to stay focused all the time so that they can keep the consistent form of them performing in the Orlando Pirates jersey. And I think Coach Ouaddou, if you're going to get result out of calling people names and when you are angry when they are not performing, I think if that's going to work for us as fans of Orlando Pirates winning games, keep on doing that, my brother. And he mentioned the fact that people, they act like they've never seen how a bigger brother reacts around the younger brothers, or a father reacts around his kids. And I think people like to actually take out things out of all the context that is there, take out what works for them so they can create a clickbait content for people to click and they have more views. I think that's a bad thing, especially if you want to grow South African football, where we want people even that are not living in South Africa to learn about what is happening in the country, to learn about our game that we love the most, and to just know exactly what is happening instead of us driving narratives that are not even there. Because I'm telling you right now, he mentioned that as well, Coach, that these people are talking about him losing the dressing room. They never even been near, let alone being inside the dressing room, but near the dressing room. They never have that. And now they have an explanation to come out here on internet and say Ouaddou is losing the dressing room. When he addressed that, I was like, my coach, you are doing the right thing so that you people, when they see you doing that again, they know exactly who you are. And he mentioned a very important thing that he said he has the understanding with his players, and he understands the psychology of the players as well. They understand him as well. And I think, what do you want from a guy that comes in the first season and win a triple? And now he's telling you that he wants to compete in Africa and bring back that second star into the team. And you saying when he wants more from the team, he's actually losing the dressing room. I feel like people will never watch the beautiful game beside the recent games. There is a guy that used to coach Kaizer Chiefs. His name was Paul Dweleza. If this guy was coaching in this era, I think there were lots of people in the internet that would claim that he's not a good coach, he's abusing players, what he's doing is bad. That guy wanted the best out of the players. And I think what I liked about him back then was he wanted people to actually learn from the game. If you're not doing well in the game, take you out, sit next to him, show you exactly what you needed to do when you were inside, and you need to make sure that you take notes so that next game you know exactly what to do. That was my man, Paul Dweleza. And Mushin Echukral in early days of Chiefs as well, he was one of those difficult managers as well that came in and then they were not even afraid of calling spade a spade. So I think maybe people, they haven't watched the game for that long to understand that we had like some couple of coaches like that. If you remember the Niskins at Sundowns as well, he used to call out fans and say people are talking too much because they don't even know how to stop the ball when it's bouncing. And it's one of those coaches that they will call out the players. They will be out there mentioning the facts that they are not happy with the performance of the team and they demand more from the team. So I think demanding more from your team is actually not a bad thing. But taking that and create a clickbait content, I think it's a bad thing. Let's create content to educate some of the people that want to watch the content and learn from us and learn from our viewpoint of watching the game to see if they can take something away or can add more in down the comment. And speaking of comment, what do you think about Ouaddou's comment about these people who are creating false statement about his dressing room? Do you think it's a right thing to have these kind of content creators that are creating this clickbait content? Or do you think actually Ouaddou is right as a coach to call out the players so they can give him the reaction that he wants? Because look at us, 3-0 win after Chippa United because of that reaction he wanted from that game we throw against AmaZulu. My name is Popkeys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't been subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, please like, you can share the content as well, and make sure that you go down to the comment below so we can continue the conversation even if it's not here on the video, but then we'll pick up something and edit on the video again. This is Impact Play. My name is Popkeys. Up the bucks once, always, and I'll see you on the next one.